Today I'm going to tell you a story that isn't just a figment of imagination but a true event. It's a ghost story that still lingers in the whispers of the townsfolk. This is about a ghost tied to an unknown history, bound by a centuries-old curse. This ghost appears at precisely 12:13 every night at a specific location in the town. You may not believe me, but I promise, if you ever come across this ghost, your life will never be the same again. You'll never return to that peaceful, secure world where you could sleep soundly and wake up to a bright morning. This tale begins many years ago, in a time when this town was not as vast as it is now. Back then, at the center of the town, stood an old house. No one knew much about the house or its owners, but it was rumored to belong to a once powerful family. The house's owner was a woman named Mrinalini, a quiet, mysterious figure whose presence seemed to hold secrets beyond anyone's understanding. She rarely mingled with others and preferred solitude most of the time. Mrinalini lived with her little son, her only child and the sole light of her life. One evening, while playing in the courtyard, her son vanished into thin air. Despite frantic searches by Mrinalini and the townspeople, no trace of him was ever found. From that night onward, peace never returned to Mrinalini or her family. Every day brought new mysteries that enveloped her life. But one day, something happened that plunged her existence into utter darkness. It began with strange occurrences around the house. At times, eerie sounds echoed from the dark corners, as though someone was calling her name. When she went to investigate, she found nothing. Gradually, these sounds became more unsettling, causing an inexplicable pressure that left her anxious and terrified. At first, she dismissed it as her imagination, but when the noises persisted, she realized something unnatural was happening, something deeply connected to her. Then came that night, the night that changed her life forever. It was silent, with not a sound in the air. At exactly 12:13, the house was engulfed in a mysterious light, illuminating every corner and making the house seem alive. Paralyzed by fear, Mrinalini turned toward the source of the light. What she saw was incomprehensible, a strange entity that resembled her lost son. But this was not the child she remembered. His eyes were hollow and lifeless, devoid of any soul. A haunting smile played on his lips, sending chills down Mrinalini's spine. He stood there, smiling, as if trying to communicate, but no sound escaped his lips. Mrinalini was frozen with shock. She couldn't discern whether this was truly her son or some unknown spirit taking his form. But at that moment, her world shifted irreversibly. She began to unravel a harrowing mystery tied to her son's disappearance, one she had failed to grasp before. From that night on, the strange apparitions started appearing every night at 12:13 at a particular spot in town. This location carried an inexplicable aura, becoming a subject of fear and speculation among the townspeople. They began referring to the entity as the ghost of the specific hour. This ghost was unlike anything anyone had seen before. Every time it appeared, it chose the same spot, a desolate old road that no one dared to tread at night. Sometimes, an eerie glow would illuminate the area, and strange, unexplainable events would occur. Those who ventured there often disappeared without a trace. Even if they returned, they were never the same. These people carried a chilling emptiness, their eyes reflecting a void, as though they had returned from another world. The ghost sparked numerous theories. Some believed it was the spirit of Mrinalini's lost son, cursed and trapped in an eternal loop. Others claimed it was a manifestation of the house's tragic history, exacting vengeance on her family. Yet no one truly understood the ghost's purpose or why it appeared at exactly 12:13. People who encountered the ghost spoke of a haunting transformation in their lives. They felt a suffocating void, a deep melancholy, as though their very souls had been touched by darkness. They could no longer live ordinary lives because they carried with them the weight of the unknown, a terror they couldn't escape. Despite numerous investigations and attempts to uncover the truth, no definitive answers have ever been found. Was it Mrinalini's cursed son, or the embodiment of an ancient house's wrath? Or was it merely the imagination of frightened minds? No one knows for sure. One thing is certain: this ghost is no ordinary apparition. It is a curse that has become an inseparable part of the town's history. Anyone who falls under its spell undergoes a terrifying change, their lives forever scarred. This ghost, fueled by Mrinalini's sorrowful fate, seems to seek vengeance that transcends time. The townsfolk, too, began to act differently. Over the years, those who lived near the haunted spot at 1213 began moving away. The area soon became a ghost town within the town itself. The surrounding buildings, once full of life, decayed into ruins, a silent testimony to the fear that gripped the people. It became a local taboo to even speak of the ghost. Curious researchers and paranormal investigators tried to capture evidence of the phenomenon. Some recorded strange, static-filled noises and eerie whispers. Others claimed to have seen shadowy figures moving in the background of their footage. None, however, could provide definitive proof. A few even disappeared during their investigations, their fates unknown, adding more fuel to the legend. Still, the question remains, why 1213? Why that exact moment in time? Some theorized it was the precise time of the child's disappearance, the moment he was stolen from this world. Others suggested it marked the moment of a failed ritual, one that Mrinalini might have attempted to bring her son back. If that were true, then the ghost's appearance was a constant reminder of her mistake, a haunting punishment for her meddling with forces she couldn't comprehend. One brave soul, a historian named Aniket, ventured into the heart of the mystery. He spent months combing through old archives, piecing together fragments of the town's forgotten past. His research uncovered an ancient manuscript that described a powerful curse tied to an unholy pact made by an ancestor of Mrinalini's family. This pact, meant to ensure the family's prosperity, came with a dreadful price. The firstborn of every generation would be taken as payment. Mrinalini, it seemed, had unknowingly inherited this curse. Her son's disappearance was not a random tragedy, but the fulfillment of an ancient debt. The ghost, then, was not just her son, but the embodiment of the curse itself, a spectral enforcer bound to the terms of the pact. Armed with this knowledge, Aniket attempted to break the curse. He gathered artifacts linked to the family's history, hoping to perform a ritual that could sever the ghost's ties to the world. On the fateful night of his attempt, witnesses reported seeing a blinding flash of light at the haunted spot. For a brief moment, the ghost appeared more tangible than ever, its hollow eyes filled with an indescribable rage. Then, just as suddenly, it vanished. The next morning, Aniket was found unconscious near the spot, his body unharmed but his mind shattered. He never spoke again, his silence a grim reminder of the ghost's power. Despite his efforts, the curse remained unbroken, and the ghost continued its nightly appearances. For now, I'll leave you with this chilling first chapter of the story. But remember, if you ever find yourself near that specific spot in town at 1213, keep your eyes wide open. You never know who or what you might see. This isn't just one person's tragedy, it's a curse entwined with the town's dark past. Those who stumble upon it return from a shadowy realm where their souls find no peace. If this tale has left you with more questions than answers, don't let the mystery slip away. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you won't miss the next chilling chapter. Share your thoughts and theories in the comments below. What do you think lies behind the ghost of 1213? Join the journey as we uncover the dark secrets of the past. But remember, some stories are better left untouched. Proceed with caution.